This time on Ask Revert, we talk about energy drink sponsorships, we talk about elitism in skateboarding, and we talk about reverts. Let's get started. Welcome to Revert Video, where you can learn something new about skateboarding 3 times a week. Subscribe so every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you can get something new. We're talking trick histories, game reviews, trick tips on the shred school, and answering your questions on Ask Revert. This time we got a few for you. The first one is from mfoster717, who asks, are energy drinks good for skateboarding? We're talking about sponsorships, endorsements, and all that kind of stuff. So my first reaction to that was that they kind of suck. They're not a skateboarding company, you know, let's say Monster or Red Bull, whoever. That's not a skateboarding company coming in to do skateboarding stuff. They're an outside corporate whatever. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that they're actually doing some good. So they sponsor riders, they put money out for all kinds of stuff, not just skateboarding, but BMX and all that kind of stuff. They help make events happen, put up money for, you know, prize money and contests, all kinds of stuff. One thing I was thinking of, I couldn't think of a skateboarding example off the top of my head, but that Felix Baumgartner guy, the guy who jumped out of space, did that skydive from outer space, that was put up by Red Bull. So you think that they're not just using skateboarding and all these other things as tools to make money. They are actually, I mean, that's the main goal, but they are actually promoting it and helping make things happen. So all things told, I think that they're generally a good thing. Next question is from Rick G, who asks, is there a problem with elitism in skateboarding? I would say that there is definitely a huge problem with elitism in skateboarding. I always think it's funny when you see a pro talk about how skateboarding is this big brotherhood. You can go anywhere in the world and you'll be welcomed with open arms. I have not had that be the experience for me. Now maybe if I was a pro skateboarder and I was amazing at street skateboarding, then people are going to respect me and all that kind of stuff. But try to go to a skate park. Here's a challenge for you. Go to a skate park where there's a bunch of people there and do like a pogo, you know, freestyle pogo. And, you know, try some other like weird type of stuff. Do a lot of no complies and a lot of weird stuff and see how many people come up and want to hang out with you. It's getting better. This used to be like a big problem way back in the day. But still, I think that there's a lot of people who really demand that you fit into this exact niche. You have to do the right kind of tricks and all this kind of stuff. You have to dress the right way. Even in my video, sometimes you'll see people complain about the way I dress. I have to wear a collar, so I have my mic right here. But still, if I'm wearing a shirt with a collar or something, people will complain about it. You have to fit in the right mold, and if you do, then it's great. But there isn't that much acceptance going on. So I do think that is a big problem, although I have seen it be getting better in the recent years. The last question for this time is from Independent Art, who asked the difference between pivots and reverts. So this is kind of a, it's not really set in stone the way that these are divided up. So especially with Tony Hawk 3, you know, they added in reverts in the game, which is just spinning when you land in a quarter pipe. And that's not at all what the trick generally means. So to me, a revert is when you land in a rotation. So if you do like a tray flip, land it in a nose pivot, then that would be a revert because you're landing it and it's becoming part of the trick. And typically I would say when you change directions. So you do the 360 flip, catch it and go back the other way, that would be a revert. Although if you did it and continued it, I would probably call that a backside revert anyway. But that's generally what I would say. And then a pivot would be something like if you're doing a nose manual, you pivot into switch manual. You know, you're not landing into the pivot, you're just doing a pivot as you roll. So for me, that's the difference, but it's really blurry line on that one. I don't think it really matters, the exact technical definition, but if you guys have a different one from me, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have any more questions for next time, you can do a few things. You can contact me either Instagram, Twitter below. You can also send me an email from my About page here on YouTube. Anything like that, get your questions in to me and I will try to answer them next time. But until then, here's some more videos I made recently you might want to check out. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting my logo on screen right here so that you can learn something new about skateboarding 3 times a week. Thank you for watching.